Welcome back to Island Dreams. So 2 years locked inside a Mongolian penitentiary is not ideal preparation for a major international football tournament, but fear not. Myself and my cellmate Nomin Chulanuk Aninzo Munkurd and Tugaldor have been busy trying to tunnel our way out of here for the last 18 months or so. Taken us a little bit longer than I'd anticipated because Nom, as we call him for short, he's a little bit of a perfectionist. He had to get this limestone rendering on the walls just right before he'd allow us to make our great escape. And getting those fluorescent strip lights in here was an absolute disaster. But the guards don't suspect a thing. The Mongolian Health and Safety Executive have signed the tunnel off now. We are ready to make our charge. Now, I think it's about time as well because the boys have clearly missed me. I left the team in what I thought was the capable hands of Joe Wang Miller, but players have been getting some ridiculous injuries in training. Little Juanito Hook was out for 8 weeks after falling over a cone in training. Clearly, all is not well in the camp, and I think this is going to be our toughest qualification phase yet, because as we'll explain in this little update, we are at war with the United States over the international goalkeeping crisis. So before we bring you up to speed with the international goalkeeping crisis, let's have a little look at form whilst I've been locked away, and it's not all bad. We've beaten American Samoa, Montserrat, Bangladesh, 4-2 with Tuvalu, beat St. Bart's as well, and then a monumental victory, our biggest yet, a 2-0 win against Taipei. Now let's just remind ourselves that Chinese Taipei are one of the nations we would face in the second phase of qualification if we ever got that far, and we beat them 2-0. Sloop John B and Edwin Dwayne as goals in each half. One of the greatest nights Saipan has ever witnessed. They were dancing in the streets. We then lost to Laos, easily done. Who's got through a Football Manager 20 save without a defeat to Laos? Victory over Nepal, disappointment against Mauritius, but then we played 3 friendlies, all against the nations that we will be playing in the qualification phases. So we beat Mongolia 3-2, routed Guam 3-0, and then a disappointing 3-3 draw with Macau, given that we were 3-0 up after 24 minutes. To only draw that game disappointing. Bounced back by beating the US Virgin Islands and the mighty Fiji as well. Very disappointing result against the Turks and Caicos back in March when we were warming up for this tournament. But then we routed Aruba and things are looking pretty good on the pitch. Off the pitch we have a crisis. And the crisis is this. Every player on the Northern Mariana Islands has some kind of dual citizenship. A handful are both Northern Mariana and Japanese. Another handful are both from South Korea and Northern Mariana. But most people on the island have dual citizenship between the Northern Mariana Islands and the United States of America. But some strange phenomenon has occurred. Every goalkeeper on the island who is eligible to play for the United States over the last 6 months has withdrawn their commitment to represent the Northern Mariana Islands and instead opted to wait for their chance with America. Now, some of these keepers we may not have been that interested in ordinarily, but when they all start dropping out on you, leaving you with just 8 goalkeepers on the island to choose from, it became a little bit of a crisis. So people like Terence David, communication of 5, one-on-ones of 5, throwing of 2, won't accept a call-up anymore because he's waiting for his chance with the United States. Now, this is happening to young and old. Daniel Hall is 15 years old. He has one-on-ones of 2. He has an aerial reach of 4. He's branded as a realist, as in he understands the ways of the world. He will not accept a call-up to the national team. Instead, he prefers to wait for his chance with the United States. He'd like to represent the United States rather than Northern Mariana, as he believes he stands a better chance of breaking into the squad there. A better chance. At 15, with those attributes. Is the American number one, whoever that might be, Tony Meola or Casey Keller, whoever plays in goal for the United States right now, are they nervous about the future prospects of Daniel Hall? I don't think so. So this realist will not accept a call-up for us. That's left us with just 8 goalkeepers who have either already committed to the Northern Mariana Islands through playing in the qualifiers for us before, that's just 2 players, or people who are from either Japan or South Korea that have accepted a call-up, and that's not all of them, if I'm honest. So people like Chris Davis has accepted the call-up, but Hobin Hook, who is also South Korean, nah, he'd rather not play. And Tom Hook, little Tommy, no, he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to play for us either. Now, let's just look at how desperate we were getting here. First touch of 2, one-on-ones of 5, reflexes of 5, positioning of 4. We were begging Tom Hook to put in an appearance for us. No. So this is what we've done with our squad selection. It is a unconventional selection policy this time. We've crammed the squad full of as many goalkeepers that we're looking to give caps to in a competitive fixture as we possibly can. Now, we've only got 3 games there, so we could only start 3 of those keepers, so we're going to have to bring some of them off the bench. Not ideal, but we've got Hobin Nutzel, who is already committed to the nation because he's played in the qualifiers for us 2 years ago, so he's locked in. But our other goalkeepers in the squad might have made some friendly appearances, but they're not committed to the nation yet because they've not played in a competitive fixture. So Dave Nelson, 5 caps. We're going to try and tie him down to a competitive appearance because pretty soon we're going to be left with no goalkeepers. If this happens in other positions on the pitch, by the way, we're absolutely finished. Why this is happening with just goalkeepers, I have absolutely no idea. What I think happens is that Sports Interactive have found this YouTube series, have seen the progress that we're making, not just on the pitch, but in building a small nation as well, and decided that they can't have this. Their media propaganda machine's been at work thinking we cannot have people guiding the Northern Marianas through a qualification phase. We need to somehow scupper this save. So they've sent little internet spiders down my Ethernet cable, polluted this save, and put some kind of evil virus inside it where all American goalkeepers are now opting to play for the United States instead. So whoever this chief executive of Sports Interactive is, little Bunty Fairfax, whoever's running things over there now, I am on to you and we will not stand for it. Are there any chinks of light? I hear you cry. There's some chinks of light, starting with the illegitimate heir to Nathan Tekapua's set-piece crown, little Ajani Duenas, only 17 years old, 8 caps already, 2 goals, only 12 for free kick taking, but 15 for corners, and he can run around a little bit and put in a cross as well. So Ajani Duenas has not played for his club side yet, so we're fully expecting Sun Palace to release him at the end of his youth contract and he retires, so we're going to get him involved in the tournament while we can. But we've also had some other pretty tasty youth prospects come through. So we've got a young, pacey striker that we're going to take to the tournament. Little Jeffrey Belcher has only been in the game for, 4 or 5 months or so. Granted, he's not the best finisher, but he is incredibly quick. Burst onto the scene with Winners and Pacific Echo. Looking pretty good. Nathan Aninzo is only 16 as well. He's got some very nice attacking midfield attributes. A passer, a little bit of vision, decent physicals, first touch, long shot, technique. Looking excellent. And look at the start he made to his amateur career with Tan Holdings. That's in the top flight, people, no less. So that's looking pretty good. And then we've also got little Christopher Brostrom, another from the Brostrom production line of footballers. Crossing, dribbling, not the slowest either, and only 16. Not too shabby. So we have got some hope for the future. We're going to try and get them all committed to playing for the Northern Mariana Islands. And hopefully, if other positions all start pledging their allegiance to the United States, we will cover ourselves a little bit and still have a squad to choose from. We're not going into this tournament with any great confidence. We've got the 2 toughest games to start. We've got a Macau coming up tomorrow. We've got Mongolia to play on Sunday. And if there's anything on the line going into the final fixture against Guam, well, we'll show you that weekend. It is going to be the toughest of tough campaigns. but we performed well against these nations in the friendlies. So we're going to roll the dice one more time. We're going to give it our very best shot. We will see you tomorrow for the Macau game as we continue our island dreams.